What is going on, Delmarva? I'm Spencer Tillis.
Hey, I'm Trayvon Miles.
And this is the Delmarva Sports Insider. Coming up in just a bit in today's episode, a huge 1A basketball showdown over at Snow Hill as the Red Hot Eagles squared off against Pocomoke. We'll have those highlights.
That's right, and Old Backbone Road had a couple of visitors this weekend. Homecoming at UMES. Hawks were looking to upset South Carolina State.
Turn up, turn up, turn up. Plus, it was the season opener for the SU baseball team. I can't believe that. Spring sports season is officially here. We'll have highlights. They were taking on top-ranked Cortland State. We'll show you how they did in just a bit. But first, we got to talk about the first place here in the Bayside South. One of the real, races that everyone was kind of looking forward to, because most of the other conferences have pretty much been locked up to this point. But it was anyone's guess as to who was going to come out right now. It looks more and more like it might be a coin flip, but that was to be determined coming into this week as the Seahawks, well, they had a tough game Thursday. They traveled to take on Parkside at Decatur. Well, they'd be on the attack here early on. The three ball off the mark, but they got the big fella down low. Kavea Luma gets the rebound, tips it back up and in for 2 of his 18 points on the night. Now, the Rams did make a game of it early, though. Xavier Water kicks it over to Trajan Branch. He's rocking the suburbs with that triple. Decatur then fires right back. Darian McKenzie finds Keon Ely underneath. He gets the easy score. And then Kayvon Boyles over on the wing. He hits a triple of his own. They opened up a 10-point lead, but Parkside not going away just yet. The lay-in right here is off the mark, but Tyrese Purnell is there for the rebound. Gets the putback for 2 more, but the Seahawks would eventually pull away. Torrey Brittingham comes up with a thievery right here, goes the other way for 2 plus 1 more.
Get off me.
And then decides to look at his old backup and let him know that it's his old backup right there. Decatur, well, they continue to just roll. 79-55, the final right there. Shout out to the point guard, man. He is entertaining, if nothing else. As equally on Twitter is what he does on the basketball court, because he backs it up, so you got to give him at least that much credit. But I tell you what, it's becoming apparent that it is, like we've been saying. I mean, it's Decatur and Pocomoke and seemingly everybody else. I hate that it looks like that this thing is going to come down to a coin flip right now, but that looked like it could have been a really good test for them. It looked like they were going to have an opportunity. We might see a game that was decided in the second half, and they just blew off the gates again. It feels like they've been in coast mode. Like they don't even look like they're playing hard right now, and they're still blowing people out. They can't wait for playoffs. And they're not the only ones. I can't wait to see these guys match up against some teams over the bridge, really see just how good they are.
Absolutely right. We also had another big matchup on Tuesday, this one in Delaware. Cape Henlopen hosting Smyrna. If you remember, last time these two teams played, Cape won a close one on the road. But the Eagles, they came out of the cage flying. Charlie Taylor up to Javier Worthy, smacking glass. Smyrna with a 5-point lead in the first. Cape riding their ship right back. It's the little guy, Isaiah Dadsey. We know he can shoot it, cut Smyrna's lead, but Javier wasn't having it. Back the other way with the lay-in. Game high 21 points for Worthy. 12-point game headed to the fourth. And Drew Mulcahy, he's going to be doing the business, taking it in for Cape, trying to mount a comeback. But Smyrna would close it out. Matthews is going to get a swipe here. He's going to throw one up to my man Dymere Richardson for the easy 2. Later it'd be Richardson, and he's going to return the favor to Matthews. And usually when Matthews is wide open, it's an easy 3. Smyrna comes up with a big road win, 64-47. And Smyrna playing some really good basketball right now. Cannot be understated. Winners of 5 straight, 10 out of their last 11. They have all the pieces turning on right now at the right time. Really got to point out the job of the freshman, Jameer Garnett. He is playing some basketball right now. He's getting himself under him. You know, that 9th grade year, you never know what to expect, but he's really playing some ball right now. Unlike Cape, this team has the bodies inside to make a deep run into this tournament. Cape scares me because they seem to struggle with some bigger teams, and deeper into the tournament, that's all you're going to see in Delaware.
Yeah, absolutely. The thing about Smyrna, too, is they've been flying a little bit under the radar because of just what Dover's been doing right there. But you got to remember, Dover, dare you say, got lucky in that win against them. I mean, they got a buzzer beater fadeaway by Terrence Woodland. Smyrna should have had that one, and if that happens, I mean, they're split for conference. Smyrna definitely could be a sleeper team to make a run deep into the tournament.
I totally agree.
I can't wait to see that team as well go there. But there's other things we got to talk about. That's back here in the Bayside South. We touched a little bit on Decatur a second ago. Well, the other team that's sitting there in the lead, that would be Pocomoke. They're pretty good as well. They hit the road, though, and took on a red-hot Snow Hill team. A lot of people talking about the Eagles coming in, and they came out firing. Amati Allen, the crossover, gets the cup, loses it, but Takaya Wise is there to pick it up and lays it home. A few plays after that. This time, Stanley Colborn is going to go ahead and work a little give and go with Wise as he gets the layup to go right there. Now, the Warriors, though, They got to that second quarter and they felt right at home. Tyree Thornton, the pump fake, fools even our camera guy, pulls up from 15 and finds the bottom of the net.
Sorry.
He'd go ahead and gets a steal right here, goes coast to coast again, and then he's going to add another 2 points right there, high off the back. Maybe a foul, but didn't get it. That's all right. That's a road call right there. And then Jameel Baldwin, there's that foul I was talking about, gets an and one at the other end. You can start to see it happen. And then they go ahead and put this thing away. Jarek Johnson gets a steal. Tyler Nixon, the senior, is going to go ahead. Oh, he's been excited lately, and Pocomoke has a reason to be, and so are their fans right there. 75-43 the final. They finished the regular season 19-1. And what is your reward for a 19-1 season? A 50-50 shot at winning your conference.
Yeah,
that is unbelievable.
That's bad.
Bottom line is there needs to be way more bylaws to figure out a conference title that doesn't go to a coin flip.
We're calling it out right now.
I'm just saying.
Live TV.
You all go ahead, play, one-on-one. We'll ref it. I don't even care. They don't need extra motivation right now to feel what's going on. And I actually was thinking about it, honestly. If they don't win this coin flip, might be the best thing for this team. There's no consolation for winning the Bayside. Add a little bit of edge to this team right now. It's kind of, like I said, the same thing with Decatur. Haven't been coasting a little bit. Go into the state playoffs, because if there was one of our teams that if I had to pick somebody that have a legitimate shot at winning a state title, it would be Pocomoke boys right now.
How about we thought this would be a potential playoff matchup in which Snow Hill could gain some energy by maybe winning, and Pocomoke just comes out and just blows the doors off
on the road, man.
On the road. All right. Well, we had another potential postseason matchup here in Salisbury last night when Queen Anne's visited Y-High. Now, Butch Waller and Dale Becraft, those two forgot more basketball than we'll ever know. Some great fans in attendance also for what would be a great game. Jawan Moore catching on the fast break. He's going to lay it home. Queen Anne's leading by 2 in the third quarter. Turnover. Corey Jones going to strip. Barry Gaines, he almost dunked.
Get up.
We'll give it to him. It was senior night. Then Devontae Dixon picks one. He's going to the rack. Don't leave Devontae. Please don't leave Devontae. Queen Anne's would lean on the broad shoulders of the OG, though. Ahmad Gray was not playing around. Big and one in the paint. 25 points for the OG, trying to keep his guys in it. Y-High making the plays down the stretch, though, to win this one. Gaines over to Dixon. He drains the huge three. Please stay, Tay, as Y-High wins it by a final of 72-66. Now, Devontae, I know you're watching right now, man. Please keep your talents where they are. No, in all seriousness, man, what a win for Y-High. A win like this goes a long way for this team's confidence, with Queen Anne's also being a two-way team and likely a playoff matchup. Second best team in the North, Y-High at best the fourth best team in the South, and it happens again. What a nasty showing by the Bayside North. This week, we saw what Chrisfield did to #1 Cambridge. Like last year, the South is showing off their dominance.
Oh, it was a rough. When the only game you win is Colonel over Mardella, when you're in the North, that's not a good sign at all. Going back to that Queen Anne's game, though, for a second on Y-High, two really things stood out. One, Cassius Warren had a tough night shooting the ball. He only had 6 points. He only made one shot from the field. That's not going to happen again. This guy's way better player than what he had in that game. The other thing was, it was very funny watching the OG there go to work. He had one play where he dipped his shoulder and it hit Devontae, and Devontae went about 20 feet the other way. And I was like, yeah, that was the guy that was a running back that basically had people bouncing off him. Well, we had a bunch of other really good games going on this week as well. It was rivalry week for one thing. We had North Carolina at home on Thursday. They were taking on Colonel Richardson. And the Dogs would be on the attack here early on. Damon Mosley gets a little space, pulls up, and he hits the 3-ball there from the corner. But then the Colonels would go ahead and come right back. Sean Bowens pushing the rock right here, gets to the cup, and he's going to finish the little high one off the glass for a couple points. A few plays after that, this time it's Jared Bennett finding Marcus Johnson, and he takes it all the way the other way, and this is going to be an easy score in transition. A bit of a game for a moment, and then North Carolina started creating a lot of separation. David Bailey Jr. dials it up from distance right here. The sophomore knocks it down. Bragging rights belong to the Dogs as they complete the season sweep for the first time in 6 years, 78-53 the final.
Seaford trying to end a 2-game losing streak, hosting South Chant Milford. 3 is good for Jaquan Darling. He had 3 triples in this game. Milford's like, we ain't lost in the South, and we don't plan to. Right back at you in transition. San Martinez, more from him later in the highlights. Now, the Blue Jays were feeling it from deep. Andres Jones talking the talk and walking the walk. Jones, he had 4 threes in this game. Seaford trying to hang around, but Millie just rocking. Breon Murray with a hop, skip, and a jump to the rim. He lays it in, and as I promised, Moore Martinez, as fiery as he can be, he would step back here and knock down a 3 for the cause. Milford unscathed in the South, 12-0. They win it by a score of 74-42.
And how about Cesar Rodney? They are at home taking on Polytech. Both teams struggling this year. Senior night for the Riders. You know they wanted to have celebrated with something. Well, the Panthers would be attacking early on. It's going to be Victor Cruz over to Jason Rigby. He's able to lay that thing home for 2 points. CR comes firing right back. Joe Williams gets it on the block. The good footwork, gets the position, and gets it to fall. A few plays after that, Pauly now with the answer. It's Cameron Satchel finding some space in the corner. His 3-ball finds the bottom of the net, and back and forth we go. The story of the night, though, was Jaden Dungy.
Oh, he's good.
He was getting hot. Boogie's right there, gets the cup for 2 of his game-high 25. CR, though, able to make just one more play down the stretch. Timothy Spence with a last name like Spence. You're probably one of the best shooters in the gym. Dials it up twice from distance as the Riders get the conference win, 61-50 the final.
Rivalry night deep in Somerset County. Chrisville hosting Washington. Early on, it was Chrisville surprising some people. Daquan White, nice crossover, drops it off to Justin Cohen. Cohen led this game with 9 points at the half, and Washington started to turn it on. Dorian Stevens, the freshman from the Chrisville bench, nails the 3. That is a fun kid to watch right there. Chrisville would keep it close, actually take a lead in the third. Cohen drops it off to Trajon Sterling, finishes in the lane. Washington with a big run to start the fourth. Stevens here to Julius White, and a DSI legend does not miss from there. Plus the foul. Washington goes on to win this one 58-43.
Hey, his mom's quickly becoming a DSI legend too, by the way. Well, sticking with the rivalries, we got Cambridge against Easton, and the Warriors would actually take the lead here in the fourth quarter after Nazir South hits that triple. It gave them a 1-point lead, 6 minutes to go. The Vikings then turn up the defense. Somebody cue Sports Center as we got Ivan Taylor and Dre Green with a huge block. Then you don't normally see a guy with that much muscle with a soft touch right there, but Emery Wangas hits the little 10-footer. And then transition now. Niall Thompson finds Dre Green again. He lays that thing home. Now Cambridge then goes ahead and puts this thing away. Taylor goes baseline for 2 of his game-high 20 right there. The big fella gets it done. So did the Vikings, 59-41 the final.
You know, there was a lot of talk on Twitter about that loss that Chrisville.
There's still some talk going on right now, Tori. Thanks for watching, by the way.
That Chrisville put on them. I'm glad that they got it turned around there for their sake going into the Bayside title game. We're just getting warmed up here. When we return, the beginning of the end, I'll give you my final power rankings. I know, hold the tissues until DSI returns.
My name is Gary Burdell.
My name is Tyrese Purnell.
We play for Parkside Rams, and you're watching Delmarva Sports Insider.